Hi guys, so today I had debated earlier in a previous video whether or not I would do this, but I'm going to go ahead today. So today I'm going to show you how I do my Lupron injections. Um, yeah, I feel like they're pretty straightforward, but as I mentioned in my previous video, this will be our fourth round of assisted reproduction. So I've done a lot of injections, and each time that we move forward with a different cycle, I just sort of learn a little bit more about injections. So I have been very fortunate. I haven't had really any pain. I haven't had any bruising. I haven't had really any bleeding. So for that reason, I just thought I would show you how I do my Lupron injections. And, you know, there may be a few slight variations to how you folks at home are doing at really any sublingual injection. I think this applies. So first thing, this is my Lupron vial. As mentioned in a previous video, this needs to be stored in the fridge, and it is light sensitive. So I mean, it's safe to take out while I'm doing my draws and allow exposure to light, but you know, we don't want to leave it out in the light all like for half the day or something. So that's that. I have my syringe and my dose. I haven't posted a video yet because I'm waiting on some more information, but my dose has been increased. I was taking 0.1 ml and now I'm doubled to 0.2 ml for 4 days, and then I'll go in for blood work and we'll take it from there. So I've just undone my needle here. There's a little bit of air. That's just the way it's packaged. So first thing I do is get rid of that air, and then I'm just going to loosely replace the cap just so that I can set it down on the table and the needle's not actually touching anything. So then I have my alcohol swabs. So I actually usually just use one, and I pull out a second one just in case. If it feels dry at all, then I'll open up the second one, but that doesn't happen to me very often. So first up, we're going to take our alcohol swab, and this is where we're going to insert the needle to do our Lupron draw. So I'm just going to make sure I really saturate that part that I'm going to puncture really, really well with alcohol. Then I take my swab, and I'm just going to set it on the table here, sitting on top of the package, so that I can use that later. So now I'm just removing my cap. I've got my bottle upside down, just inserting the tip of the needle into the liquid, and I'll do it with the numbers out. So now I'm going to do my draw. So as I draw, I notice an air bubble immediately. That happens to me almost every time. So that 0.1 there, that's what I was taking. Now I'm doing 0.2, but I'm just going to go past that a little bit, and I'm going to remove. And so it's really hard to see. I'm not even going to try to show you on camera, but I'm just going to give this some flicks to help the air bubbles release all the way up to the tip of the needle. And again, I went past my dose. So now I'm going to insert back into the vial. I've got to turn this around so I can see it. And I'm just going to bring that up to my dose, being very, very specific, and I'm a little bit past. There we go. Okay, and you know what? Now that I've done that, I'm seeing a few air bubbles. Let's see if that'll focus or not. No, I really can't. There's just a few very small air bubbles, so I'm gonna go ahead and flick those up. Honestly, with sublingual, if you have like a tiny air bubble, it's not the end of the world. If anybody's ever taken the HCG pre-packaged injection, it actually is like literally 50% liquid and 50% air. And the instructions do tell you to actually inject all of that air and fluids. So yeah, if on occasion you have a small air bubble, that's not a big deal. Okay, so we're all set there. So I'm gonna just loosely put this cap back on again so I can set my needle down. And I'm gonna just pop this back in, protect it from the light. And now this is one of the things, so also I learned this when I was on progesterone and oil. I would just go straight ahead and do that injection, which also was kept in the refrigerator. Now that's intramuscular, so you know, this step is more important in that case. But this is cold, below body temperature. So it is perfectly okay, and it's going to help your body to absorb, and it's going to help with bruising. I'm just going to really hold my hand over just where the medication is sitting, just like for a second. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to choose my injection site. So y'all get to see my belly. So sublingual means that we want to inject into fatty tissue, and I've been doing quite a few injections, and you can see I don't have any bruising. I don't really have any marks. Like I have a few little poke holes maybe, but yeah, everything's pretty good. So I injected here yesterday, so I kind of want to avoid that area today, so I'm just going to go over to the other side. I'll just say the instructions say to pinch the skin at the injection site. For me, that's not ideal. So what I do is I pick a really fatty area. If you're really lean, if you have a very lean stomach, this technique may not work for you because you want to make sure you're injecting into fat, basically. But for me, so let's see, my alcohol swab is still wet. So I'm just going to give that a good rub. There we go. And so this is a little bit more like body temperature now, the medication. So what I find works really well for me is I'm actually going to pull the skin like taut. Like, okay, sorry, I had a phone call coming in. Okay, so then the next thing I do, this is what works for me. I line up my needle where I want it. And to be very honest with you, I am now going to look away and apply pressure. There we go. So we're in, okay? Because that's the part I really don't like. So I did that slowly, again, preventing bruising. So now the next step is I want to really slowly inject my fluid, which, there we go. Okay, now I find if I just kind of take my time with this, as opposed to injecting it all at once, I get less pain, less bruising. So that is why I do it this way. So just slowly continuing. I hope you can see okay there. Okay. All right, so we're in. So what we want to do now is we want to wait 5 seconds before withdrawing the needle. Now I've set myself up on a funny position here, but what I'm going to do is let go of the skin. I usually am not this awkward about it because I've got myself sitting down and more set up. But anyhow, so now I'm going to take my alcohol swab, still wet, so still working into effect. I'm just going to get it ready, because what I'm going to do is pull this needle out really quickly and then apply pressure. So here we go. I'm just going to apply pressure there. Set my needle down. And I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. I don't know. I don't really have a time that I wait. Sometimes I get a little bit of stinging after my injection, so I kind of wait till that goes away. But today I don't really have any stinging. I think we got that medication nice and warm. So let's take a peek here. All right. So you'll see like that's it. That's it. Like I'm not bleeding anymore. I had like a dot. So you can see there. That's it. And so the injection site is going to be like a little bit red and irritated. I find that goes away in, I don't know, under 5 minutes. So yeah, that's how I do my sublingual injections, for me specifically Lupron. So anyhow, yeah, I hope that that was helpful to folks. And I know that injections are hard. I've watched a lot of videos and people are very fortunate to have spouses who are doing the injections for them. But again, just a few tips there, even if your spouse is doing it for you as opposed to yourself, which I totally understand. Just, yeah, hopefully you've learned a few tips there to just make it a little bit more comfortable. It's not a comfortable process, but we want to make things as easy as we can through this adventure. So anyhow, that's it for today. Hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you have similar experience, feel free to comment below. Like I mentioned in all of my videos, I think I'm doing these videos and I'm sharing my experience because I think it's really important that we, folks who are going through assisted reproductive therapy, no matter what that looks like, IUI, IVF, FET, all that stuff, I think it's really important that, we are a community. So, it's important that we connect, and we do have our loved ones around us to support us, which is fantastic. However, at the end of the day, unless you're walking directly in those shoes, I think it's really hard to understand. So let's go ahead and connect, folks. And I hope you all have a good day, and I'll see you next time.